Hello, hello. Good afternoon or good early morning for Ryan today. It's early morning, Ryan, for you?
Yeah, it's just past 7 a.m. now.
Just past 7 a.m. So, welcome to the club of the world is big. You are at 7 in the morning. Here in Lleida, we're at 40 something in the afternoon, and our colleagues from India, from Egypt, and other places are in other time zones. So, we are coming back to the Liquid Galaxy streamings after these bank holidays here in Spain and parts of the world for the uh, whatever festivities, and we're back with this. Um, in the first, as always, thank you, Ryan, for sharing us today your knowledge about this using AI voices for Liquid Galaxy apps, and for the people on the YouTube, or we are gonna have fast questions and answers at the end. And the demo when Ryan will show the question of the sound of the AI voices, it's going to be a little tricky because we have a problem. We cannot share the audio of their application with the Meet, or at least we didn't find the way. And he's going to connect his smartphone to pointing to the screen, and it's going to be fine. So say hello to Mamomo. He just connected to the YouTube, and so Ryan, it's up to you. You can
Yeah.
start your presentation.
All right. I'll try my best to speed this up. But okay, I'll just get started right away. So this presentation is going to be briefly about using a lot of the AI services we have to integrate voice-to-voice features for Liquid Galaxy apps. So is it sharing? Uh, did the slide change? I don't see it on
Yeah,
the.
it changed. It changed.
Uh,
It changed. It's okay.
it changed. Okay,
Yeah,
I don't see it in the YouTube. I have the YouTube open, but I can't see it there. But
it worked.
okay. Okay. So just a brief agenda. I'm gonna go over the voice-to-voice feature of the app. Talk a bit about LLMs and how to integrate. I guess the middle end for this application, and talk briefly about Grok. Why we use it and how fast it is, and as well as I'm gonna do a brief live coding session to integrate pretty much all of these features. Try my best to finish this on time. But yeah. Please let me know if the slides are not changing in the chat. I have the chat open, so I'll
It's
monitor it.
working.
Okay. So briefly about voice to voice. So voice to voice is a feature that we see in a lot of these apps, products these days. So Amazon Alexa, Google Assistant, Apple Siri, stuff like that is where we input a voice and we get a response in voice back. So a feature would kind of be broken into two phases. One is a voice to text, is when we input something through voice and it gets generated to text, and then we use that text to do whatever, we answer questions, and then the app will relay a voice back to us, which is the second part, which is the text to voice feature. So we do this so that in the middle, after we receive the prompt from the user, we're able to do various things, whether it's sending stuff to APIs or like through LLMs, so to make a response better for the user. So, okay. So the initial part, which is voice to text, is when we speak into the application or any product. There are a lot of actually services for this, as AI is growing pretty quickly these days. So Google offers what a popular speech to text model with Gemini. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of the Google Gemini model recently. And there's ones like Flutter's speech to text library, VAPI AI speech to text is one of them, and DeepGram also has a service for the whole pipeline. And text to voice, I think I guess there are more options for this one. Google Cloud also has another one for text to voice. Flutter also has a built-in one and then Mentor Vedant. If you checked out the project called Voice CMS that Mentor Vedant did for last year's GSoC, he Dockerized, I think, one of the models so that it's very easy to use. So check it out. I think it's pretty simple to use. Just Docker pull and then it's an API. So yeah, and then there's VAPI AI, and then as well as other features. I'll kind of speed this up. But yeah, so LLM models and then Grok. So what is an LLM? It's a large language model. Is to the specific AI models where it is able to understand a lot of the human language. So like ChatGPT is one of them where we kind of talk to it like, it's a person, and it gives us a response back, and we're just able to communicate responses back and forth. So yeah, most of you guys probably used ChatGPT before. And what Grok is the company has provided an LPU, which is called the language processing unit. It's a chip that specifically designed for LLM models. So it is able to generate responses very, very, very quickly. So if you do want to check it out for yourself, definitely go to grok.com. There are 3 default models that we're able to use, and with one of Google Gamma's model being one of them, and it's very, very quick. So it's able to just, I think it's like 20 times faster than the normal LLM models that we use. So combined with a low cost, I think it's just able to integrate into our applications very nicely because of the speed and the low cost and everything. So yeah, these are very brief models. Pretty much just 3, because there's Llama by Facebook, Mixtral by Mistral AI, and then Gamma by Google. Different options, different price points. But yeah, these are the brief overview. And if you're using the API, like I think 20 times, less than 20 times a minute, I think it's free from what I've been told. And I've tested it out myself. So yeah, if you want to check it out, definitely go to grok.com for more details. Okay, that's a kind of a speed run of the slides. I'll try to jump into the demo very quickly. Okay, so initially I have can you guys see my app in the like a VS Code and then an emulator beside it?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so it's a very brief app. Initially it's not going to do anything because we haven't implemented anything. So the first thing I'm going to implement is voice to text, is where I speak into the mic, and then it's gonna recognize some text and then display it. Text to voice. I'm gonna give some input text, and then it's gonna, where is it? Say it in voice. I'll use my app to try to get the sound for that. Grok. I'm gonna try to pass in some input prompt and show you guys like the response output and everything. And then voice to voice is combining all 3 features. So I'm gonna speak into the mic, it's going to get that text, send it to the Grok API, and then get a response back from the LLM, and then get the voice back to me, and then it will do all 3. Okay, so first things first, there's a few packages that we have to use. It's quite a lot. I will try and just kind of briefly go over them as, I guess, as time goes by. But yeah, well, first thing is, I think Flutter has a very good built-in speech to text. It's very easy to use, as well as it's just simple to set up. So I think it would just be, and it's free to use. I think so. That's what I picked this just for because it works very quickly. It's very easy to integrate. I think it being free, it just allows every user to kind of, if you guys want to like test it out at the end, so it gives it a shot. And there's a few other there's a few other packages I'll be kind of using throughout. So there's like stuff like .env, HTTP for HTTP requests, and like path provider to get the path up so we can display the audio later. But yeah, I will just briefly go over everything, I guess, as I'm doing it. So speech to text. Okay, I will just go over, what is it? Sticking to dependencies. Um, there we go. So, speech to text, audio players. Path provider. .env for environment variables. HTTP. Okay. Okay. This one we don't need. And pretty icon. These are just basic icons for our visuals. It's very basic, but nothing crazy here. I believe that's it for things we need, and I'll come back to it if. Yeah, I think that's all we need for now. So it's just gonna run Flutter pub.get by itself. Okay. So gonna briefly, what is it? Flutter speech to text. So a few things we have to do is just for we have permissions that we have to stick onto. So copy that. Go to pubspec Android manifesto. This we'll just so these permissions are just to record audio, internet, and then Bluetooth if you have any Bluetooth devices. And then for Android SDK 30 or later, we also have to copy another setting. So after this, we'll just throw it in here. Okay, and then last but not least, pubspec, we're gonna need to have enable.env. So this is to ensure that our API keys get passed in safely without it being stolen by anyone. Okay, there we go. So last but not least, the main code. Okay, I think the setup should be fine. And then everything else, we're just gonna start importing. So we'll import, is it dart convert. Okay. Speech to text. Speech to text. Dot dart as speech to text. And then import, is it copy this line for the other import. Okay. Recognition result dot dot then the path provider page dot provider slash path provider dot dart. Okay. Import package audio players. Page dot dart. Okay. And gotta import package and then dot flutter dot env. And last one for package http slash okay, this should be it. Okay, so these are all the packages we're going to use. I'll kind of go through them as I go. So our main function, nothing crazy. The one thing we're going to do is just fetch our environment variables. So I have my all my environment variables in the .env file right here in the main in the root directory. So that's to store our API keys to make sure that it's loaded safely and everything. So I'm gonna fetch that in the beginning within the wait dot env dot load. So we're gonna load all our environment variables. And then say file name is .env. So that will allow us to just fetch our environment variables whenever we want to. So yeah, we can call it later. Let's see. Okay. In our home state. Home screen. Okay. So here I'm gonna assign some variables in the class. So for speech to text, we need a few things. We need to first of all initialize speech to text, and then set like a Boolean value for like is it listening or not. The initial text, and then there's like a parameter called confidence level, which we're able to throw in there to kind of measure the confidence of what it's able to detect. So let's say late speech to text dot speech to text. So I'm going to use a late variable, so we're able to change the value later as well. So initialize that. The Boolean for is this tuning. I think I spelled that right. Yeah. Hopefully. Set that to false initially because initially we're not going to be listening to anything. So the input text that we might perhaps get is like an empty string for initially, and then so I'll try to monitor. Is there a bit of an echo? Okay, okay, hopefully not. I'll turn my sound down. Okay. And then we're gonna fetch, what is it? Our confidence value. So this is optional, but I'll leave it. Confidence equals. Let's do 1.0 for now. So this value is like adjustable. It's not the end of the world if you don't have it. But yeah. In our initialized state, so first init state, and then we'll initialize our speech to text. So speech to text, this is where we initialize the program. When we first load the app, so we're able to use it. And yeah, anyway, let's do init speech. Then we'll define this init speech function right after. So void init speech. Let's make this async. Okay. So we'll initialize the is listening variable equals await dot await sorry speech to text dot initialize. That's where we initialize in the very beginning. Sorry, it doesn't echo. Okay. Okay, and then set state. Initialize it to. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Okay. So I'll have the app open. So initially, our application doesn't have anything because we haven't done anything yet. So the functions that I currently have are, first one, voice to text, text to voice, Grok API, and voice to voice. So I have a very brief pop-up helper function that just, if we get a response back, it'll just show us a pop-up so we can visually see it. And then 4 empty functions, I will try my best to do it. So, but okay. So voice to text. So let's say initially we gotta first see if the is listening variable is, what is it, false or true or false, because if it's true, that means it's already listening, so we don't do anything. So if it's listening, then we'll say boolean available, I think I spelled that right, equals await, and then speech to text dot initialize. Okay, initialize that, and then say if it has been initialized properly. So if available, then that means our initialization worked properly, there's no errors. So we'll set state. So we'll set state to function. Okay, yeah, there we go. Call function, and then initial change init is listening to true. So now we're telling it to start listening, and then the actual listening part is speech to text dot listen. So this is gonna listen when we are speaking into the mic. So we'll say on result, get the result value. We'll get the result value that it detects, and then with this value, we're gonna update the text value. So whenever we call the text value later on, it's gonna always have the latest result because the set state is gonna update the state to the very latest value. So let's say val dot recognize words. Yeah. Sorry, text. Okay. So this is gonna always have text to the very last words we talked to, and then say if val has confidence rating. So if it has decently confident enough in its ability to, I guess, detect a word and is sure of it, and then the confidence val confidence is, let's say, greater than 0. So just make sure that at least we're able to detect the, like, be confident in this value. So confidence will equal val.confidence. Okay, there we go. And then in the else case, speech to text. Listen, there's a semicolon missing. Okay. And then in the else case where it's already open, then we'll just update our set state. Set state to false. Set state. All this, and then we'll say is listening. We'll initialize that to false to make sure we don't have any errors. Okay, and then oops. So that just a second. Okay, and then we'll tell the if it's already initialized, we'll just tell it to stop, because we don't want to duplicate over values. And then if text is not empty, then we'll do the show pop-up. So that's when we display our text that we've gathered, and then we'll display it so the user can see it. And then yeah, that should be it for just this function. And then so the emulator, for some reason, it has to cold boot every time. Okay, so wait until so cold boot, reboot it. So we're gonna give it a second, and it should be able to detect what we say, and then it's gonna display to the user so they can see. It's gonna give it a second here. So emulator is very, very slow. Just in the meantime, start. Okay, and right after this, I'll do the text to voice function. I'm not sure if Andrew has enough time to stay, so I'll try my best to at least get the voice parts done, and then Grok will be optional, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. So there's kind of I guess like an issue of where if we want the mic to be detected, I have to like cold boot the emulator. It's just an emulator problem. It works on the physical phone just fine. But in the case that we ever want to test the feature, we would also always have to cold boot it, which takes some time. But hopefully it's not gonna destroy anything. Okay. A few seconds. Okay. In the meantime, I will be grabbing the URL for. So actually, let's go to developers. So in the meantime, while that's loading, I'll just briefly jump into the other way, the text to voice. There are a lot of models that we use, but I personally chose to use DeepGram for the demo. I think it's just the low cost, easy to set up. And if you go to our text to speech here, I think the speed that in which it runs is just very, very quick. So we have a very basic API call, just fetch the URL, and then the rest I can just do on my own. And then see if the, come on. Okay. Okay, I'll just start implementing other. Sorry, the emulator's not working. I'll just while it's loading, I'll just start implementing voice to voice. But okay, so the URL we fetched from the website, I'll paste it here. Oops. Okay, so that's the URL that we're gonna be making an API call to. So we're gonna throw this into function URI.parse. Okay, and then okay. So our string, I'll say deepgram API key. So this is the API key that I defined in my .env file. So I'll use say .env.env. So I'm not gonna show the API key, of course. So I'll just fetch it. Deepgram API key. Okay. So that's gonna get the key and load it to the variable. And why is there never pass string? Okay. I'll just okay. That works. And then we'll say final response equals get await from the API call http dot post, and then pass in a okay, there we go. Allow demo to record audio, so yes while using the app, and then location, sure. One thing you have to do for emulators is go to the three dots on the side, and then microphone, and then just check this, and it'll allow you to start talking. And if this works, hopefully this works. If I start talking, hello, how are you doing? Okay, so there we go. So it was okay. I'm glad that actually worked. So I don't know if the screen is too small, but the thing I just said, yeah, hello, how are you doing, is gonna display. So I was able to detect that, and then I made the show pop up helper function just to display the text. So here we go. This is exactly what I said. We'll display here. Okay, so continuing on. Sorry, kind of rushing through this a bit, but I'm just worried about Andrew's time. But okay. So going back to the text to voice feature, we have our HTTP post request. So we're gonna make a post, and as the parameters, we're gonna pass the URL that we've defined right above, the headers, and for the headers, we can pass in. I think this let's go, but shit, content type. JSON, fetch this application.json as well as the authorization, the API key. Okay, throw that in there, and our token is going to be defined in the variable right above. So I'll put a $sign, deepgram API key. So that's going to pass in this API key that we've got from .env. Why is it undefined main HTTP? Should have. Huh. Interesting. Finally, HTTP post should work, but okay, I'll do that for now. But it's strange. The body of we're gonna JSON encode, then pass. The thing we're passing in is the text, so it's gonna expect a text parameter. So that's what we pass in to the API. So let's kind of define some audio file that's gonna be, let's say, string text equals, let's say, doing. Okay, and then we can throw this into the API. Yeah, okay, and that we'll be able to send that send the hello, how are you doing? This will get converted to the audio file, and then we should be good for that. Okay, semicolon. Why isn't it finding this? Huh. So it should. Oh, okay, that's why. HTTP dart as HTTP. Okay, hopefully that will not break things. Okay, so I think I messed up a bit in the API calls. Text voice. So what am I missing? URI parse, passing URL, headers, content type, application.json. Oh, okay, so quotations here, quotations here, right here, and also right here. Okay, there we go, perfect. So there we go. So we should be able to just run. Okay. So after we get our API call, we're gonna check to make sure the response is okay. So if the response dot status code is equal to 200 for success, then we're gonna execute. Let's see. So final. So the rest in here is just to convert the received audio so that the app can play it. So final bytes equals response. So from the response, we're gonna get body bytes. Okay. And then we're gonna get the directory of where we're gonna place the directory of where the file resides. So we're gonna make an await, say get application, not cache, just your document directory. And then like that. And we're also gonna do get the file itself. So final file equals file. And you can pass in the current directory that we just fetched from above. Throw this into an object. Directory.path. And then say text to speech wave file. Okay. And then write it into bytes. So file dot write as bytes, and then bytes. Yeah. Then just above. And then now we're gonna make sure the audio actually plays. So player dot play, and then say device file source, and then we're gonna fetch the file that we just created. So file dot. Okay, and player. Right, okay. And then do final player. Let's define it. So audio player has a constructor. There we go. So now with this, we're able to play the file that we receive. And then it should be fine. And then else, we don't need anything else, I guess. This should be fine. And let me see where the other errors are. Just a sec. Body JSON encode. Response text service. Body. Oh. There. Okay. So I think I can just reload this. Okay. I'm gonna try to see if the audio plays. Let's see. Okay. Okay. So okay, it's kind of echoey. Sorry, but I have the app here. I'll just press the button and see if it's able to detect the sound.
Remember, when you make the demo, you have to mute the meet, the one on the computer. It will make the echo. So mute yourself and then use the mic from the phone.
I think it's already muted. The computer.
So there's no more.
Okay. I'll try to ignore that just for the sake of time. And then so if you run our text to voice, sorry about the echo. But it should be able to get this text and just get the audio file for it.
So you have to close the other mic. Maybe just when you don't talk, close with your hand. Close the mic with your hand. Cover the mic.
Close the computer
Cover,
mic, right?
cover. You were using a cable one, no?
Oh no, it's I unplugged the
You
earbuds, so
you unplug this one. You have to plug this one again, maybe.
okay. Because then, how do I share the audio if it's an earbud?
How would you, it has you can
Because
listen to it?
so the sound's gonna come from the computer, which I'm gonna put my phone close to the output to the
Yeah.
computer. Yeah, so I think this is
Uh,
the only way. Sorry for the echo, but
yeah, I told you this is gonna happen. But think, take a look that it depends on the place you place the phone.
hmm, I'm not able to mute. Just a second. For some reason, I'm not able to mute the computer for whatever reason. I'm not sure why.
Change it to another one.
Sorry?
Change it to another one.
Okay. Okay. I think. Okay, I think that worked.
I mean, it's not so crazy. Just try to run the demo.
Okay. I tested the app just now and I hear it, but I don't know if it's loud enough for the mic to detect. So let's try my best.
Yeah,
Were
it's
you able
so
to hear
low.
that?
It's not so enough load.
Uh, is there a way to turn off the sound in the meeting so I can focus on the? No, we
It
can't
says
turn this off.
microphone is off already.
Yeah.
Okay, another thing you can do. No, you need. No, do what I told you. Just uh, close for us before doing nothing. Listen to my words. Close the computer meet and
Oh.
only use the other one.
Okay. That
And
works.
then after you can after you do
Join
the
back.
demo, come back with the computer,
Okay. Okay.
and then you can show the computer screen with the phone and the sound also by the mic of the phone.
Okay. Okay.
I know it's weird, but it has to work.
Okay. Okay. Can you hear me from here?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. There we go. So yeah,
Open
sorry,
the.
can't share screen,
We are
but
not seeing you. You have to open the camera.
yeah.
Yes, we see you
Okay.
and we
So
listen
it's
to
just
you.
yeah. It's just
Okay.
sorry. Actually, let me switch to. How do I switch the camera?
Click in the middle of the mirror. It will appear. Yes.
There.
Here you
Okay.
go. Okay. Down. This is
There we
good.
go. That was
You
very
can go
complicated.
horizontal. It will be better.
Okay. So the application,
No, but
the
you have
second
to
button
turn
is
the screen on the phone too. You have to allow horizontal landscape on
oh
the phone, not turning the phone only.
oh
You know, yes, now perfect, perfect.
okay okay. There we go. Sorry, that was very complicated. So the second button is what we've implemented. It's the text to voice. So let me see if it's loud enough to hear it, but it should be able to.
Hello, how are you doing?
Perfect.
Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm glad that actually worked. But okay, I'll join back uh in the meet. Uh, just give me a second.
We are again. We don't listen. We don't listen to you. No sound.
The sound doesn't
Yes.
seem to be working.
Sound now.
Does Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Can
can
you-
hear you. Yeah. Me and the other persons in the YouTube now or in the future. Talk? No, not now. It worked before. You just plug or touch something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I,
it works now.
I was on the phone. Yeah. Actually, I'll just do it from the phone. Yeah, I
Okay.
can't get the computer's not working all of a sudden. But yeah, Andrew, do you need to go to the
No,
other
don't
meeting?
worry, don't worry. You can
Okay.
continue.
Okay, okay.
The other persons told me that we can have a little delay, 10 minutes.
Okay, okay. I'll try my best
But
to.
listen to me, Ryan. When you did the
Yeah.
demo with the phone, we listened to your voice, to the computer voice, and we saw the screen. So
Yeah.
it's better you just get disconnect from the computer and use the only the phone
Oh, okay.
horizontal.
I don't know how I can code while doing that.
Okay, that's where if you have to code, it will be difficult. This is gonna be,
Yeah.
but okay. So code, but when you have to do the demo, just do that.
Okay.
Good luck.
Okay. Back to coding. Oh, sorry, that was very complicated. Okay, but I'm glad that worked. So,
We listen the voice.
yeah, the voice to voice function will be very quick. So I'll focus on the Grok API and then I'll just combine at the end. Okay, let's try to speed this up. So Grok API, let's go to Grok documentation. API access diagram. So we have a documentation here. Yeah, hide this. So let me get the URL. Curl. Okay. So we have the URL here. So similarly, URL equals dot parse. Passing. Okay, passing this URL, and then string API equals dot env dot env. Grok API key. Okay. Exclamation mark. Okay. So it will be pretty similar to this API call. Actually, fetch it. Copy paste. Okay. Make tweaks to it. So http.post URL headers. Authentication. Change the API key. Content type. The body will be a bit different. So instead of text, it should be message. So some messages. And then say pass an object. Role. We are a user. Then content. We get the content, and then the content we can define over here. So string content equals, let's say, hello, something like this. And this is what we're gonna throw into the model. So content, then space, and then so which model are we gonna be using? There are three various models. I'm gonna use the Google Gamma just because we're a Google org. So Gamma 70 IT, I think it was models. IT, yeah, okay. Just to double check. Not this. Okay. Then similarly, let's see. If response static equals 200, so that's for success. I'll say var JSON response equals, we'll decode the JSON that we get from the response.body. Response.body, and then we'll say we're gonna now fetch the response message that we got from the body. So string message equals JSON response. Parameter was, I think, there's choices, and then 0 is message, and then content. So that should fetch the general message, yeah. And then we're gonna throw in the show pop-up message, and then throw in the message variable. So we're gonna call the API, get back a response. We're gonna make it pop up, and then display to the user. And then that should be it. What is wrong with it? Oh, okay. Let's do it. Huh. Okay, and then we'll do refresh. Okay, so we're gonna ask, hello, how are you doing? To the API. Hopefully get back a response. Message. Oh, that's fine. Should be better. Okay, that should be good. Okay, so we'll call the API. There we go. So we ask, hello, how are you doing? You get back a response saying, I'm an AI language model, and I'm not capable of like expressing emotions, etc., etc. General AI response. So voice-to-voice function is relatively easy. I guess it's because combining the three other functions. Sorry. So I'll speed run this for Andrew's sake. Okay, so close this. So just like where is it? Voice to speech, we'll do is if is listening, say wait So we're gonna initialize dot speech to text, and we'll say if it is a bit initialized properly, then we'll set state. Change this name to false. Okay, and then sorry, change to true. And then speech to text dot listen, very similar, just like before. And on result, I think we can probably just make a helper function for this just to handle everything because it's a lot of stuff. So handle result. So this is a callback function that I'm going to call once it's finished recording. So we can define that in the bottom, but then I'll say else. We're gonna set the state to change is listing to false, so we don't listen to it anymore, and then we're gonna stop the speech to text. Stop. Okay. So that should be the general, and then the function that we have here, void voice, and we're gonna speech recognition result, and we're gonna make this async. Okay, so we throw in the result. So in this function, we just do if the result dot final result. So to make sure that's actually the finished recording, and then result dot recognize words is not empty. So at least we have a response so that it doesn't we don't throw in weird stuff later into their model. Then we can text stop the model. Okay, and then copy this. False. Oh, sorry, that's my dog. And then
Your dog is remembering that we are out of time.
sorry.
Your dog is saying you that we are out of time.
Okay.
How much you still need?
Probably like 3 minutes, 5 minutes.
Go ahead.
Less than 5 minutes, yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll try to wrap this up. Okay. So we're gonna let's say curly braces and here. So it's false. Is this and then text result and then we get back first string question mark response equal await, and then this is where we call our maker call to the Grok API function. So it's the function that we have above. Call Grok API. I'll pass in this text. So I know we didn't initialize it, so we got to change this to string content, and then when we first call the function right above, I'll probably run this, and then the other function text to voice will also require string text. This will just move over by default when we call the other buttons. voice. It's in here. Okay. Clock API. Oh, okay. This should be a string. Question. Okay. There we go. So we got back a response, and then response does not null. So next voice response, and that should be it. But there's what is this? Okay, that should be good. So I reload. Let me see if this works. Okay, I'll leave the meet in the computer and then try this again. Okay.
We listen and
go.
see you well.
Yeah, hopefully it works. Okay.
Horizontal.
Yeah. We go back to our app. So if you do the voice to voice, we should be able to speak into the mic. And then, where's the mic? Oh, there we go. Hello, how are you doing? Oh, just a second. Oh, sorry, I think it's bugging out. Just a second, I think we may have to. So I'm just running it again. It should work. Hopefully. Voice to voice. Initialize. Okay, that should work, yeah. Okay. Okay, I think there's a slight, the audio is not able to, not sure why, but it should be working. Not assistant. Huh. Assistant to false. It should work. Interesting. I'm actually not sure why. Because I tested this out before and it worked perfectly fine, but hello. Hello, how are you doing? Okay. I think it is working. It's just the problem is that every time we use the voice feature, we have to hot reload. We have to like reset the emulator. So if I cold boot it, sorry, Andrew, for taking so much of your time. But it should work on this last.
Yeah. So the bad thing about the testing on the emulator is that every time we want to use the mic feature, we have to cold boot our emulator every single time. So because we used it once already when we were demoing the voice to text, we're gonna need to reset the entire thing just to run voice to voice again. So give us a few seconds, please, please. But yeah, I think besides this, that would be so voice to voice realistically would do everything combined. We talk into the mic, we get the result back from using Grok, and then we display that. With displayed as well as we get to listen to the voice. So let me just run faster. Okay. Hopefully everything should. We go to our settings, microphone, detect. Okay. Hello, hello. Okay. I think it's just lagging because it worked earlier. But yeah. I guess I don't want to take too much of the rest of your time, Andrew. So
Well, okay, it's a little bit late, yes. No problem. Ryan, we have this problem at the very beginning that, could you please, this is the way, okay. So we know that this might happen. This is a demo live. I'm pretty sure you have tried that it work, but when you do things live and in another environment, things can happen and always happen. So anyway, thank you for your time. And I hope that at least you're. No, we are not listening to you. No voice. Today is a AI voice demo without voice. No voice. You can call your dog. We listened to your dog before. We make a joke. It's an AI voice dog. You're tricking us. So you.
There. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, you are
Okay.
with a
It's just
laptop.
okay. Sorry, everything's so chaotic.
No,
Stuff
no,
is
no,
not
no.
working.
Okay, so this is
Oh,
I will not say this is good, but I will say that this has been a test also because we didn't never did that, and
yeah,
this year this has to happen more times hopefully because we have
yeah,
to work with voices. So it's something we have to learn how to share the audio with Meet from the
yeah.
Windows
I think
environment, and
yeah.
then
I was
don't
the
to not to have this problem. So anyway,
yeah,
thank you for your time, Ryan. No problem. Don't worry. Yes,
yeah,
it's too early in the morning for you. Also, it's
yeah,
something like
yeah.
8 in the morning.
Yeah, it's just like it's 8:20 now. Yeah,
8:20 now. Yeah. So too early for you, and also too late for our colleagues in India.
yeah,
So we have. I think we have changed the time in Spain last weekend, and we are now
yeah.
sharing the same hour with Egypt. I think. I only
Hmm.
think. I'm not sure. We were something like 1 hour behind, and now we're on the same time zone.
Yeah.
Don't
Just
worry, Kim.
yeah.
Thank you
I
for
guess
your
it's just
time.
first time testing like an app, like a voice app, so it was
Yeah,
difficult,
yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah,
Well, you know,
I
this
I
this
just
this,
happened to
this
be
is
the
a
first
first
one.
trial, so
Yeah,
it's a learning chip
yeah,
for a learning thing for every of us.
yeah. But
So again,
I'm glad that the other features actually worked
yeah,
and you were able to like
yeah, of
hear.
course,
So yeah, there's
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah, it worked. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
It is a
at
matter
least
of
it
the
wasn't like
routing of the
broken.
zone.
Yeah.
It is the matter. Also, I didn't tell
Yeah.
you, but at the very beginning, people
Hmm.
in the YouTube side not, but I was listening some kind of echo.
Hmm. Oh,
You
okay.
have the mics, but it was a very few short echo, but there was an echo. So
Yeah.
sound is always
Yeah.
difficult. Sound is
Yeah.
always
For sure.
difficult. So again, thank you, Ryan. We have
Oh,
to
thank you.
go. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you
yeah,
for
for
the
sure.
people on the YouTube, and see you next time. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Take
Thank
care.
you. Thank you for your time.
Bye.